Principle Revolution, Around the World in a Day, Unboxing Part 1. Ahoy everybody, and welcome to another unboxing. So this is part 1 of a look at the unboxing of the various versions of the new release, or re-release, of Principle Revolution's Around the World in a Day. The reason it's part 1 is that I am still waiting for the exclusive picture disc from the Prince website to come from America, and then on Record Store Day there is a related release. So once I've got both of those, I will do part 2 showing those. But I have just picked up, I'm recording this on Saturday the 21st. No, I'm not, Saturday the 22nd November. Hopefully this is going up on Sunday the 23rd. I picked up the copies I pre-ordered through my local record shop, Slice of Vinyl. So I picked up the 2 CD version, the limited edition marble vinyl version, and the 3 LP deluxe edition. So we'll go through each of those. An interesting release this, because it's neither one thing nor another. In the past, since Prince's passing, we've had either just reissues of albums, a lot of them first time on vinyl. Not all of them, but just straight reissues. And then we've had the super deluxe editions, where you've had everything from just a straight reissue of the album up to 6-7 disc box sets, etc. This is, as I say, it's neither one thing nor another. So you've got a straight reissue of the album, albeit on coloured vinyl, although most of the other ones had coloured vinyl versions. But you haven't got the big box set. I wasn't really surprised, because this is a number of people who, you know, when it's, oh, what's the next big box set going to be, have said, oh, I really hope it's Around the World in a Day. And I've always wondered why, because there isn't the material to do that. The album was recorded whilst Purple Rain was being toured. Whilst there are tracks that have been left off and variants of tracks, it's not a huge amount of stuff. It's not enough for, you know, 3 or 4, as far as I'm aware anyway, like 3 or 4 CDs worth of outtakes like there are in many other releases. And it was an album that he didn't tour. So whilst some of the tracks were played on a Parade tour, they couldn't really put a Parade era show in with this, because it's Parade era and it was mainly about Parade. It's just a few Around the World in a Day songs were played on it. So I never really knew why people were clamouring for such a release. So when this was announced and it was just basically previously available material, as we'll get on to, I wasn't surprised. Right, that said, as I've been saying that as I've been taking the wrapper off the CD. So yeah, this is the 2 CD version, the iconic 1985 album, remastered for the first time, remastered, B-sides, mixes and edits. A little sticker. So it's a nice foil version of the sleeve. So that's a nice start. I've done this. I think they also did just a 1 CD version of this with just the album. I might be wrong there. So mimicking the original album release, it opens here. On the original release, there's a little tear strip you had to tear off, which was always a shame. But there we have that. Nice gatefold with rainbow. And then we have, presumably that's the album in the front. The artwork certainly matches the original album CD. And then in the back we have booklet. And yes, remastered B-sides and mixes. Very strong era for B-sides, this. So we have the booklet. Again, very similar. With all the different fonts. to the original. And then in the back, which obviously different, is that we have what the bonus tracks are. So we have a 12-inch version of America, the new mix of Raspberry Beret, the 7-inch version of She's Always in My Hair, and the new mix of She's Always in My Hair, which was a B-side. Remix of Paisley Park, a fresh dance mix of Pop Life, which is Sheila E's mix, the extended version of Pop Life, Hello 7-inch version and Hello Fresh Dance Mix, which was a B-side, Girl 7-inch version and Girl 12-inch version, which was a B-side. Then we have For the Tears in Your Eyes, which was a track that Prince recorded for the We Are the World album, as covered in the song Hello. He didn't participate in the song We Are the World. He was invited. He didn't want to go. He didn't think it'd be the best use of him. He'd clam up in front of all these famous people, so he didn't do that, but he did instead donate a song to the album, which was For the Tears in Your Eyes. So this features the We Are the World version, and then it also features the Hits for B-Sides version, which is the video version that was played at Live Aid in Philadelphia, and it's a more acoustic version. It was just a black and white video of him, Wendy and Lisa performing the song, and that appeared on the Hits for the B-Sides compilation. So that's what's on there. Just realised that I forgot to change my clapperboard, so it still says Matt Berry. Apologies for anybody. I don't know if anybody ever pays any attention to that, but yes, apologies. I won't do it now because we're halfway through. I knew I'd forget. That's the problem when I'm recording multiple videos. I just want to crack on straight one to the other. Anyway, next up we have the single disc version, which is on white and blue marble vinyl, 140 gram. So again, it has the hype sticker, very similar, except obviously what it says in the middle is different. Again, mimicking the original release, we have the sticker on the shrink, saying that it's Around the World in a Day by Prince and the Revolution. How do I do that? Yeah, so there isn't anything of that ilk on the CD. Problem is, it means you have to keep, really, if you can, the shrink. I'm going to have to try and pull it out. Oh, luckily it's quite a loose one. So this just comes in a matte sleeve, and again it's got the flap, which has got the track listing on, by the way, but thankfully it's not a sealed one, although it is perforated like the original was. And there we have the inner gatefold with the lyrics. Again, a replica of the original release. Just a plain inner sleeve, no poly-lined unfortunately, but that's a pretty vinyl. It's quite transparent with the light in front of it as well, but yeah, like that a lot. I should imagine most people watching this are familiar with the album, but for the people who just watch my videos who aren't Prince fans, so it's a follow-up to Purple Rain. It was, you know, he didn't want to put out Purple Rain Part 2, as he put it, and it is it's what, like, it's classed as his psychedelic album. It's a, you know, it's not full-blown psych, but, you know, it's got Indian instruments and stuff like that on it, particularly the first track, Around the World in a Day, and a bit on Condition of a Heart, and a couple of the other tracks. But it's a really strong album, absolutely fantastic, and one that I love listening to. So now we have the deluxe edition. So this is same as what's on the CD, but on 3 LPs. So again, we have the Boy in a Balloon sticker on the outside. So again, I have to try and open this without too much damage. Come on. Oh, this one's a bit tougher. I think it's because of a foil sleeve. Oh, here it comes. There we go. So yeah, we have a foil sleeve again, like the CD. And the track listing includes the bonus tracks. And then again, it's the flap, perforated but not sealed. So we have the foil version of the inside, lyrics just for the album tracks. Why is that not working? So then in the front we have LP1, which is the album, just black vinyl. And then in the back we have 2 and 3, the bonus tracks. Quite a few people are saying they're not getting this release because there's nothing new on there, and I understand that. The 12-inch version of America, which is like 20-something minutes long, I think that's the first time it's ever had an official CD release. Obviously, it's been on vinyl before, on the 12-inch, but that's sort of a selling point. Similarly, the video version of For the Tears in Your Eyes, Hits of B-Sides, didn't get a vinyl release. He says confidently. I think that's right. I don't think it did. So that's the first time that's been on vinyl. So there's a couple of, you know, new to the formats. But as I say, I do understand why people might refrain from picking this release up. And I do hope that next release, whatever it may be, will be back to the proper big super deluxe versions. Hopefully it will be Parade, actually, and there's plenty of additional material for that. But yeah, there we go. That is the first part of this unboxing. So as I say, I've got the picture disc coming from the Prince store. And then on Black Friday, there's a box set of the 7-inch singles. They've done those for Sign of the Times and Diamonds and Pearls. Sign of the Times I just wasn't in a position to get at the time. Diamonds and Pearls I could have got, but because I didn't get the Sign of the Times one, I didn't. But both of those were only available through the Prince store, stroke Legacy Records, and at Electric Fetus Records in Minneapolis. And sold out just like that. Because this release is getting a Record Store Day Black Friday release, and is available, albeit in limited numbers, but is available all around the world at various shops, and my shop can get it, I am getting it. I'm not saying I will never go back and get the other ones, but they are always increasing in value, so I probably won't, and I'm not that bothered that I haven't got them. But then once I've got the new one in hand, I might think, oh, it's a shame I haven't got that. So we shall see what the future brings. But yeah, that's coming out on Friday. So hopefully Friday or Saturday coming up, the 28th or 29th. If the picture disc has arrived by then and it is en route, I'll be doing part 2 with those. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.